You know, it's getting bad when people who actually benefit from celebrity worship are actively asking y'all to chill out and stop. First, we had Doja Cat with the whole kittens debacle on Twitter, where she said that she don't love her fans because she don't know y'all. We also had Cardi B, who said that when she gets dragged, it's usually because of her fan base. I was gonna insert the clip, but I don't feel like editing out all that cursing. Sorry, Bookie. And now we have Chappell Roan with her very valid TikTok rant. Now, I can assure you that all of these people are not talking about their casual fans or, you know, their fans that show up at the shows or buy their merch and actually see them as a human being and an entertainer. They're talking about the entitled people who don't see them as a person at all. They just see them as a product. They're talking about the people who demand pictures when they see them out in public. They're talking about the people who don't respect their privacy. They're talking about the people who really just want to stalk them, who want to be them. Those are the people that they're talking about. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonya, and today we're going to talk a little bit about stan culture, because it's actually going like way too far. Way too far. I feel like before social media, you heard like the one-off stories, but now we see just how many people are actually engulfed in stan culture, toxic stan culture. But anyways, let's get into the woman who inspired this entire video, Miss HOTTOGO, your favorite artist, Chappell Roan.
My name is Chappell Roan. I'm your favorite artist.
Miss Chappell Roan has had a huge year this year. She pulled in one of the biggest, if not the biggest crowd for Lollapalooza this year. She's performed at Coachella, she's performed at Gov Ball, and she's had multiple Billboard top 10s, like all at the age of 26. Child, we are the same age. What am I doing with my life? Anyways, let's get back on track. Recently, Chappell went on a TikTok rant, a very valid TikTok rant, about how she doesn't care how normalized it is to stalk your favorite celebrity, to, you know, bombard them out in public when they're off the clock, mind you. She doesn't care about how normal that is. She doesn't want any parts of it.
I don't care that abuse and harassment, stalking, whatever, is a normal thing to do to people who are famous or a little famous, whatever. I don't care that it's normal. I don't care that this crazy type of behavior comes along with the job, the career field I've chosen. That does not make it okay. That doesn't make it normal. It doesn't mean I want it. It doesn't mean that I like it. I don't want whatever the you think you're supposed to be entitled to whenever you see a celebrity. I don't give a if you think it's selfish of me to say no for a photo or for your time or for a hug. That's not normal. That's weird. It's weird how people think that you know a person just because you see them online or you listen to the art they make. That's weird. I'm allowed to say no to creepy behavior, okay? I need you to answer questions. Just answer my questions for a second. If you saw a random woman on the street, would you yell at her from the car window? Would you harass her in public? Would you go up to a random lady and say, "Can I get a photo with you?" And she's like, "No, what the f-?" And then you get mad at this random lady? Would you be offended if she says no to your time because she has her own time? Would you stalk her family? Would you follow her around? Would you try to dissect her life and bully her online? This is a lady you don't know. And she doesn't know you at all. Would you assume that she's a good person? Assume she's a bad person? Would you assume everything you read about her online is true?
I'm not mad at that. Listen, I don't even like when I go back to my hometown and go in Target and see people that I went to high school with. I would rather duck and dive behind a rack of clothes than to have that 2-minute awkward conversation of, "Oh, how have you been? What are you up to?" I don't want it. And so I can only imagine how celebrities feel when they go out and you know you're a recognizable face, and people that you've never seen before in your entire life want to bombard you. So on Drew Afuelo's, please tell me that's how you say her last name. It's probably not. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. On the comment section pod with Drew, Chappell actually talked about how people have started to stalk her and how people know where her parents live and where her sister works, and that if it ever got to that point, that she would just quit. She would throw in the towel on music and quit. My thing is, celebrities have so many crazy fan stories. And they're just expected to smile and laugh it off and just say, oh, it comes with the territory. This is the job I wanted.
What's your craziest fan story?
There was a fan in a closet once when I got to a hotel, and they opened up the closet and they jumped out and they had a sign and they wanted me to sign some photographs, and I was very scared, and also I thought it was quite sweet, but my security guard was very upset. But little monsters.
Let's think about it like this. Someone likes the way that you do your job so much to the point where they want to stalk you, or even worse, they want to off you because they are so obsessed with the way that you do your job. We have Christina Grimmie, who was on The Voice, who started out here on YouTube, was friends with Selena Gomez. She was a rising star. She did one performance. After that performance, she did an autograph signing, and Kevin James Lobel comes up to her table and pew-pews her back in 2016. According to one of his friends, Kevin did this because if he couldn't have her, nobody could. He pew-pewed her and then pew-pewed himself. Let me see. Who else do we have? We have Selena, who was offed by her manager, who used to be her fan. Let's see who else. Oh, we have John Lennon, who was also offed by his fan because his fan was so obsessed with him and his lifestyle, and then the envy crept in, and he was just like, nah, I can't let this man go on. Pew pew. Moving on. This leads me to an article that I read about the characteristics that people have when they exhibit a high level of celebrity worship. The article is called I'm Your Number One Fan. It's written by doctors Randy A. Sansone and Lori A. Sansone. They examined college students, and they also had just a general community sample. And they found that the people who tested really high on the celebrity worship scale exhibited the following characteristics. They were more likely to have concerns about body image. They were also more prone to cosmetic surgery, as well as being sensation seeking. And they also had issues with cognitive rigidity, which means that it was hard for them to switch from thinking about something in one way to thinking about it in another way, as well as having issues with identity diffusion, which means that they didn't have a concrete sense of self. And they also were not doing any type of work to find a concrete sense of self. Really poor interpersonal boundaries. More characteristics that they found that these people had were narcissistic traits, stalking behavior, dissociation, addictive tendencies, compulsive buying, depression, anxiety, and social dysfunction. I feel like the scariest part about me even naming all of these characteristics is knowing that if you were to fit the mold that I'm describing, you're probably not going to think that you do. People who are scoring really high on this scale are more likely to be the people who take out their favorite artists because of psychological reasons. And I'm focusing this mostly on musical artists. One, because I'm a music girl. Two, because music is one of the only things that when you're listening to it, it engages hecka parts of your brain all at once. One of the parts of your brain that music engages when you're listening to it is called your nucleus accumbens. That part is a part that seeks pleasure and rewards, and it also plays a huge part in addiction. Dopamine is released in this area as well. And like when you're addicted to something, it releases like a euphoric amount of dopamine, and that's what gets you addicted to it. So in a way, music can also be seen as an illicit substance because it's acting in the same area that illicit substances act. And so, because music can be so addictive, I can see how easy it is to have that really strong emotional connection to like a song, because music has the ability to take us back to happier times or sad times or make us think of memories. You hear a song and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, when this song came out, I was in high school, I was in middle school, I was in college. It has that emotional pull to you. And so I can see that if a song helped you get through a hard time in your life, how you can have that emotional tie to that song, but not only that song, but to that artist that wrote the song or that sung the song, because sometimes they're not even writing the song, they're literally just singing it. But my thing is, when you categorize this high on like the celebrity worship scale, taking that emotional connection that you have to that song or to the person that wrote the song, like you're just taking it too far. Like you're taking it and you're just like, this person is a product. Like this person isn't a person anymore. Yeah, they might sing a song that has your emotions all tied up, but at the end of the day, you do not know them. They do not know you. Not to mention the fan bases that will literally crash out and dox you just for giving their artist of choice some criticism. That's not okay on any level. And I feel like we just need to touch grass a little bit and realize that these celebrities are not your savior. We all engage in parasocial relationships, even if it's on the tiniest scale. If you have a favorite content creator, a favorite singer, a favorite actor, like you like the way that they do their job, if something happened to them, you might have a little bit of an emotional reaction to it. Like when Amy Winehouse died, my little heart was broke. Mac Miller, Nipsey Hussle, Whitney, broke. Parasocial relationships are relatively neutral. You can appreciate somebody's product, whether it's their music, whether it's their movies, whether it's their content. You can appreciate their product. You can appreciate how they present themselves. Also, I feel like the people that we consume the most are the people that we see a little bit of ourselves in, or we want to see a little bit of ourselves in. Get your mind out the gutter. If I'm walking around wearing a SZA shirt, you're going to assume something about me. If I walk around listening to Sabrina Carpenter, like you're going to assume certain things about me. And going back to the stan conversation, I feel like they kind of take that idea and like run with it. I say this because if you lack that sense of self, then it's really easy to align yourself with a celebrity that you like and their persona and forget that celebrities are just really well-known and perfect people. I don't think it's bad for celebrities to interact with their fan base. I don't think it's bad at all. I mean, at the end of the day, these are the people who put you on that pedestal and made this career possible for you. But at the same time, I feel like the less boundaries celebrities have, the higher up they go. And that sucks. Like when they set boundaries, they get called out and they get bullied. I don't know. It's not fair. It's actually kind of sad. I think it sounds crazy, like, oh, you feel sad for rich people? Like, no, I feel sad for people who can't leave their house because their face is so recognizable that even if they go to a coffee shop, they might get stalked. I don't know. I feel like just people take it a bit too far. That's all I have for you guys today. If you're still watching, thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful night, whenever you're watching this. Bye.